life that meant so much that even if that very day they died, they could know that when Jesus Christ came again, they could live with him in heaven for eternity. That was his passion. But family members, I can tell you this, he was most passionate about Jim. Dale and Kathy, when you would go in the other room after we would finish the Bible study, he would just pour out his heart, how he was praying for you guys. He was praying for you. He was praying for every single family member, and he would name you from kids on down to grandkids. And the desire that he had in his heart that you would know the same Jesus Christ that he knew. He wanted each of you to know Jesus in a passionate way. And I can tell you there was nothing that brought him greater joy than he had the opportunity to baptize each of you. And to see you confess the very same conviction that he lived by, which was Romans 14:8. If we live, it is to honor the Lord. And if we die, it is to honor the Lord. Gerald was consumed by God in his life, and he gave God the honor that he deserved. But this text in Romans doesn't just speak about life. It also speaks about death. And again, I like the way the Message Bible puts it in Romans 14:8. Jesus lived and died and then lived again so that he could hear our Master across the entire range of life and death. God was the master of Gerald's life. So guess what? He's also the master of his death. In 1 Corinthians chapter 15 and verse 55, it asks this question, "O death, where is your sting? O grave, where is your victory?" Well, death has no victory with Gerald because God is his master. Jesus Christ won the victory over death. And so one day, the promise of that victory will become a reality for Gerald. And not just for him, but for all the loved ones that your family has lost in the years gone by. You will see them one by one experience the very same words that are printed in 1 Corinthians 15, verses 51 through 54, when it says this, "Let me reveal to you a wonderful secret. We will not all sleep, but we will be transformed. It will happen in a moment, in the blink of an eye, when the last trumpet is blown. For when the trumpet sounds, those who have died will be raised to live forever. And we who are living will also be transformed, for our dying bodies must be transformed into bodies that will never die, and our mortal bodies must be transformed into immortal bodies. Then when our dying bodies have been transformed into bodies that will never die, the scripture will be fulfilled." And you know what the rest says. Death is swallowed up in victory. I also like what 1 Peter 1, verses 3 through 5 says. What a God we have. I can just hear Gerald saying that. What a God we have. And how fortunate we are to have him, this Father and our Master. Because Jesus was raised from the dead, we've been given a brand new life and everything to live for, including a future in heaven. And that future starts now. God is keeping careful watch over us and the future. The day is coming when you'll have it all, life healed and whole. No more heart surgeries. No more heart surgeries for Gerald. He'll wake up whole and healed. And I can just imagine his first few words will be, wow, I can breathe really good now. So I think it's time for me to start teaching that Sabbath school lesson I was about to teach right before I passed away. And then with a little twinkle in his eye, Jordan and basketball team, he's going to say, did you win that game? The one I didn't get to see. And then he's going to grasp the hand of your mom, his life partner, Evelyn. And on all sides, he'll be looking for his children, for Dwayne, Denny, Nancy, Dallas, Dale, Kathy, and all the family members who have been in their lives over the years. And then he's going to look for the grandchildren, for Jeremy and Justin, Jacqueline and Justin, and Jason and Jennifer, and David and Jordan and little Jessica. And then he's going to look for little Macy, his only great-grandchild at this point. And all the relatives and all the friends who made a commitment to Jesus Christ and who are in the kingdom because of the experience of Gerald and the life that he lived. And Gerald will leave the way to the throne room of God, and he's going to go back to doing exactly what he was doing when he lived here on this earth, living to honor God in his life. Revelation chapter 22, verses 3 and 4 says it this way: "The throne of God and the Lamb will be in the city, and his servants," which is what Gerald was and will be again, "will serve him. They will see his face, and his name will be on their foreheads." I can hear Gerald saying, "Wow, what a God." Gerald awaits that day. He awaits the day until Jesus comes, and the promise of a resurrection is a reality to him. But those of us here face our days till that day comes. So what do we do with our days? How do we handle our days? Well, there's three things I would say. One is that we cry. We cry because we miss an individual that can no longer physically take part in the activities and things that are meaningful to us. I have memories of Gerald and Evelyn when Lauren was little. Jordan and Lauren were like brother and sister, the two redheaded buddies, and many times Grandma and Grandpa would take care of them and spend days and days and days together at Dale and Kathy's house and take them to the park and just spend all that time together. Many wonderful memories of them. Danny and Nancy, the Sabbath services and Sabbath lunch, you're going to miss that. You're going to miss the stories, family members, yes, that he told over and over again, and sometimes that he told longer that you wish were a little shorter, but you're going to miss those stories. Sometimes you're just going to think back on those things and it's going to make you cry, and it's okay. It's okay to cry. Whether it be today, tomorrow, 3 months from now, 6 months from now, a year or two from now, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, it's okay to cry. For Christmas, my daughter gave me a CD of some Irish music, and one of the songs was Danny Boy, and that was sung at my father's funeral. It's been many years, but it brought me to tears. So crying is okay. Number 2 is remembering, to stroll down memory's lane. Gerald lived for each of us in our memories now. All of the stories that you have to tell. In fact, I told Dale the other day, there are so many wonderful stories. You guys need to sit down and begin to record those stories, because Macy needs to hear those stories as she grows up. And so it's a wonderful thing to go on down memory lane. Don't be afraid of the memories. Relish them. And number 3 is to follow in Gerald's example. If we live, it is to honor the Lord. And if we die, it is to honor the Lord. So whether we live or whether we die, we belong to the Lord.
This team was known as Grandpa's team, and I wrote you guys something. So, I would truly regret if I didn't take at least one moment to talk about my grandpa's involvement with our basketball team. As we all know, he was at nearly every practice and game. He truly was one of our biggest fans. He looked upon each and every one of us like we were his own. He was there for us during times of triumph and celebration, and there for us during times of hardship and defeat. He generously gave to us, not because he was obligated to, but because he believed in each of us individually.